I was recently afforded the very exclusive opportunity to play the unreleased Critical Strike 6.0 update with a few other content creators. As a community, we've been waiting on this update for almost 2 years at this point. Today, I'm not only going to show all of you this exciting footage that I recorded of the unreleased update, but we'll also compare this to the current version of Critical Strike. Additionally, I'm going to include a ton of information about this update in this video. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Before this video starts, here's a quick message from Red Dragon. The first keyboard I ever used for my PC cost me $25 and was from a brand called Red Dragon. They're a company that specializes in high-quality gaming gear that doesn't break the bank. I was so impressed with that $25 keyboard that I asked Red Dragon if I could join their affiliate program. They said yes, and now you're getting this message. So, if you're interested in awesome gaming products for low prices, make sure to visit reddragonshop.com and use the code SHOWDIS for 5% off of your order at checkout. Now, back to the video. Alrighty, hello, and welcome back, or welcome to the SHOWDIS official YouTube channel. In today's Critical Strike video, I'm doing something that I truly never thought I was going to do, and that's playing the unreleased Critical Strike 6.0 update. Now, before I go any further, I do have to make a couple of clarifications. First, this update is officially the Critical Strike 6.0 update. This is the official continuation developed by actual Critical Strike developers. However, because they do not have access to Epic Critical's account, they are unable to publish this update due to the actual Critical Strike game on Roblox. So there's currently a new game which you can find linked down below. The second thing that I want to clarify is that Update 6.0 won't be released for a while. I don't have any official dates, but based on what I've been able to gather, we should expect another few months at the least before this update is finished and published. Anyways, with those things out of the way, let's go ahead and dive on in to Critical Strike 6.0. Let's start things off by talking about how the game looks now versus how it will look in the new version. On your screen now, you're looking at some footage of Critical Strike 5.7.5. It looks just like how you'd expect, and I have no comment on this whatsoever. And now, let's look at Critical Strike 6.0. As you can see, the entire game is much brighter and more engaging than it was before. Special effects, lighting, and other visual elements have been massively improved, and Critical Strike has a much more modern feel. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering if we'll get new classes, and if current classes are going to be getting any changes. First, I can confirm that Dancer and Warrior are finally getting balanced, and you can see the details of that on your screen. Other than these changes, we shouldn't expect a whole lot to get changed when it comes to the current classes in Critical Strike. So now, let's discuss upcoming classes. After speaking with the head developer, it's pretty apparent that the dev team wants to include at least one new class in the new update. However, I was unable to determine whether or not we'd actually see any new classes added to the game in Update 6.0, so I can't really expand on this subject any further than I have. So, let's move on to the third section of this video. If you've been waiting for new maps in Critical Strike, then that wait will finally be over in Update 6.0, as I can confirm that at least 2 new maps will be added to the game with this 6.0 update. As for current maps, most of them will be updated to fit with the more modern design language that the developers are striving for. Maps such as Valentina Garden will receive entire visual overhauls, and while I'm not allowed to provide any footage of this, just know that the map redesigns are very, very attractive. When it comes to overall gameplay, anyone who's played Critical Strike before will feel right at home in 6.0 update. While the game does run off of the CS4 engine, as opposed to CS5, everything feels exactly as it should. Projectiles, hitboxes, and movement are all pretty much identical to the original version. Although, on the note of projectiles, any classes such as Priest or Ghost that had hitboxes slightly to one side of the projectile itself are now fixed, and have hitboxes the same size as the projectiles. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about new game modes. Right now, the new version of Critical Strike 5.7.5 only has one game mode, Elimination. That's set to change in version 6.0 with the addition of at least 2 new game modes, including King of the Hill. Other than that though, I don't have any more information on game modes, so let's move on. Critical Strike has had the same, relatively basic UI for quite a long time. At this point, not only is the UI outdated, but it also lacks basic features and information that other Critical game UIs do include. On your screen now is a pretty cohesive screenshot of the new user interface. As you can see, it's a fantastic balance between the old UI and a modern design language. The biggest changes include a simplification of the overall design and a timer on the top of the screen that's a lot more useful than you may think. Other changes include some very light visual updates to the toggles on either side of the screen before you get into a match, as well as a completely overhauled class info UI as seen on screen. Now that we've discussed pretty much all of the noteworthy changes coming to Critical Strike, it's now time to conclude this video with my final thoughts on this update. First of all, I think it's awesome that Critical Strike is finally getting an update. Sure, this update is still months away, but the limited content that I've seen so far is enough to have me pretty excited. I know a lot of people are expecting an entire game overhaul considering that this is the first update in literal years, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. The limited developer team hasn't been working on this update for very long at all, so the progress that we actually see right now is pretty impressive with all things considered. Anyways, I think that's all for this video. As always, if you found it informative or just enjoyed it in general, then please do make sure to like this video and maybe even subscribe. Don't forget to use code SHOTUS at reddragonshop.com for 5% off of your order of high quality gaming gear. Have a great day. Bye bye.